that's okay too. So tonight's program is on the famous keyhole design that the Cambridge Glass Company used on many different items. And I know Les Hansen's going to share a few of those tonight and insights. And a lot of people are going to have a lot of different examples to share. So that should be the fun part tonight, is seeing what everyone else has tonight. So, Julie, that's all I've got to get us started. And I'm looking forward to a wonderful program.
All right, wonderful. So we're going to turn it over to Les. And Les is always wonderful about giving us a lot of very good educational information. So we appreciate all your work and providing us with this education, Les. So we'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, so the goal of this program, like David said, the Zoom and Tells, is for everyone to share and participate. So we don't have hardcore education. Somebody just does a lead-off presentation. This is an interesting one, keyhole, because the keyhole that we'll be talking about is so iconic among Cambridge glass items. And the first piece that was introduced was in 1928, and it was the center-handled tray. Now, this isn't a center-handled tray. I don't happen to have one, but it had this keyhole on the top. So again, this was introduced, the first piece, in May 1928, or the patent was applied for at that time. And the keyhole design was used by Cambridge in numerous pieces until the final closing. So this iconic shape was used for 30 years by the Cambridge Glass Company. Now, if we look at it, there's kind of three sections here that are, repetitive. There's a loop and then kind of a bulge on each end. Now, that's the standard keyhole. We're going to talk about some variations of that. And this is, the center handle tray. So there was a stem. This particular piece was introduced somewhat later in the early 1930s. And, many of you know I collect enamels. So this has got the USC Trojans on it, a two-part relish. The next item that they introduced was the candlesticks. And here, the keyhole, of course, there's a candle well on top. This is the one light, and it's got the same shape, the three parts to the keyhole. This is an early one. This one happens to be amethyst gold encrusted wildfire, and it's in the decagon line. So that's got the edges here around the base. That was the earliest version. Actually, among the candlesticks with the keyhole, the first one they introduced was the three light. And this is the one light, but the keyhole is in the middle. And of course, you have the candle wells either on top or on either side. The two light was similar, except here the keyhole is in the middle with the candle wells on either side. It's rather interesting that they've got this same kind of scroll work that they used in the keyhole on either side to hold up the candle wells. This particular one is gold encrusted Gloria, and it just kind of made the time period relative to the decagon base. And we know it was very early, likely about 1934, because it's got the Crown Tuscan enamel stamp on the bottom. Now, this item was in the last catalog that was issued in 1956. The difference was, however, that it had the round base on the bottom. And that's what happened. Somewhat later, they put a round base instead of the decagon base. Still the same keyhole here in the middle, but along the way, they filled in these holes on either side. I think we've got examples of some items like in Carmen or Royal Blue where some have the opening here and some do not. I don't know why. I don't think any of us do. If it was something with the mold, that it was easier to not have that part open. This particular candlestick we know is from the 1950s because it's got a Charlton decoration, green mist. And I think that was coined by the Charlton group, Green Mist. I don't think there's another example of green mist on Cambridge glass. And there's a pair of these candlesticks. So this would be from the 1950s. The earlier one that I showed you would have been from the 1930s. So the other thing that they introduced early on in the 30s was handles. So you can see the handle here on this three-part relish. This happens to be a sway back Scotty enamel decoration. So there are just so many items, relishes and bowls that have keyhole handles on them. And again, it has this three sections. So it's very similar to the three-part that they have on the top handled items as well as the candlesticks. Of course, probably what we may see quite a bit of tonight is vases. And I think a lot of people, when they think of keyhole, they think right away of a vase. So this is a ivy ball vase. It's got some gold decoration on it, which is rather cool. Also, it's got the three parts. The top on it's got one, and then one on either side. The three parts of the combined to make up the keyhole. This particular item, for instance, you can tell it's almost white. So again, this would probably be in early 30s. Crown Tuscan, they really struggled with the color on Crown Tuscan. Many of the early pieces would be borderline brown, and others would be almost white. And when we talked about the Crown Tuscan formula, we had talked in previous Zoom and Tell why that may be the case. But somewhere probably around 1938, 1940, they were able to get a very uniform color with some translucence to the crown colored glass. So I'm assuming that a lot of people have vases to share tonight. Looking forward to seeing them. Another variation is the little itty bitty one. So this is one of the 3400 line ball oil or vinegars. And this little stopper, if I can get it up here so you can see it. Where am I? There it is. It's actually, if you look at it, it's only got two of those swirls, and then they kind of combine on the bottom. So we call this, oh gosh, I can't get it up there so you can see it. Capture there. I just got to get my camera. It's too small. There we go. Maybe you can see it there. Julie, can you see it? Yep.
Yes.
And it's actually it's kind of got a little centerpiece here. It's got the swirl on either side, but it doesn't have a third one on the bottom. But we still call it keyhole, even though it's shaped somewhat differently. And then another variation that's smaller is this is the nude stem sweetmeat. And of course, the sweetmeat, it's the Cambridge documentation says, the order says, make the sherbet and put the lid on from the 3400 line large puff box or candy box. So if you got a sherbet, you can usually make a sweetmeat by finding the cover from one of those other two pieces. But again, if you look at this piece, it's easier to see because it's a darker in color. It's got the two parts here, kind of a center medallion, but it doesn't really have the third one. But we still regard it as keyhole, and it's very reminiscent of the larger pieces that come in keyhole. So, Julie, that's all I've got to launch the program. One thing I would say, you could tell in my presentation, I didn't use numbers. I don't think anybody that participates in Zoom and Tell, it's a requirement that you give the blank number when we talk about this glass. I can't remember those numbers. We say the 3400 line because there wasn't a name for the 3400 line, but don't feel like you have to look up or provide the number because those of us that collect glass, we don't worry much about that. So I'm anxious to see what you all have to share.
Well, thank you, Les. Appreciate that very much. I'm very excited to see what people have to share as well. So what we're going to do is we are going to start with Marilyn, and we are going to put Wendy on deck, please. So Marilyn, can you unmute? Is Marilyn here? Let me look here.
I
Maybe
saw her
Marilyn.
earlier,
Oh,
Julie.
yeah, she's here. Okay. I asked her to unmute.
Okay.
There you are.
Okay. My first piece is a puff box. I don't know. You can see
There
that
you
very
go.
well. Can't see it very well. My cram.
Oh, there we can.
Here it is. It's 3400 and it's apple blossom etch and it's the 3494. It's really a cute little piece. Got the two-part keyhole on it. And I have a, this is etched Rosalie, and this is number 977. They call this a basket. Looks like a bowl to me, but that's what I bought it for. And it's also enamel encrusted green. Really like this piece. A center handled server in cobalt, and it's decagon. And it's 870 and it's 11 inch. This is beautiful. I love this. Beautiful color. This is a candlestick. It's decagon, hard to see. And it's etched Portia and Heather Bloom. I have the little center handling server. But I'm not sure that it is Heather Bloom. I'm not sure it's Heather Bloom or if it's sun colored. It's kind of hard to tell. But it's a pretty piece. It looks really good with Heather Bloom. Cream and sugar in Gloria, 3400. Heather Bloom. This is a cruet set, and one of the stoppers is a keyhole. And I don't know if they came mixed or together or if this is even really a set, but this is what I have. This is not a piece of Cambridge, but it's a beautiful, beautiful keyhole. This is central. It's a big one. It's about, I don't know, about 11 inches. And Central also made a keyhole line very similar to Decagon, and the handle is very similar. It's not this handle. I don't have a piece of it, but it's very similar. So, you know, if you're looking at one, be sure that you're getting a piece that you want. Not get the wrong thing, but this one is very, very elegant. I love this. I don't have very much Central, but I've got some Central black. And that's all I have.
Well, beautiful pieces. That blue was outstanding in color. And that green, oh, how lovely is that? I've never seen really a basket like that. So, really beautiful piece there, Marilyn. And thank you for showing us so many examples. I'm sure
Thank
we're
you.
going to see some other very exciting examples too. But it was
I'm
nice
sure.
to kind of go across several different lines. And as always, we appreciate seeing the other glass companies and what they've brought. So, thank you so much.
Hey, Jolie,
Yes.
I got a comment for Marilyn.
Yes.
Okay.
The piece that, Marilyn, the piece you think is sunned, it looks too much like heather bloom, I think. So I'm guessing that it's a real piece, a real heather bloom piece and not sunned. The other thing is your royal blue ball set. That did come as a set, but it had two keyhole stoppers, so somebody plugged up one of the holes for you with a ball stopper, but it did come as a set. I've seen that. That's it.
Thank you, Mike. I think someone told me a long time ago too that with heather bloom, how you tell the difference is if you hold it up to fluorescent light, heather bloom looks gray under fluorescent light. It doesn't, it has a different tinge under fluorescent light. I think someone told me that a while ago. But don't quote me on it, but I think that's what I was told. I think Lynn Welker told me that a decade or more ago. All right, next we're going to move on to Wendy, and then we're going to put Mark Voss on deck, please.
Okay, I have the Portia gold encrusted Crown Tuscan. So with the round base and that stamp, this is earlier? Les, I can't remember.
Actually, they would follow the decagon. That would be about 1934 that they were putting that stamp on. So there,
Okay.
it's right in that period. There could have even been a little bit of overlap there in the early 30s of the decagon base and the round base.
Okay, and as you can see, this one has, no glass in those holes there, where this Crown Tuscan piece with the Charlton is fully filled in those side holes. I recently acquired some Decagon Amber Gloria singles. Oops. And I've got one of the globe vase. And then a question, when they elongated the keyhole, was this called something else?
As far as I know, Wendy, it just has a different number.
Oh,
They
a
just
different
assigned a
number.
different number. But I mean, keyhole isn't a word that was used by the Cambridge company. It's a coin name that collectors have used. So that's keyhole,
Right.
definitely. But it's an elongated one, like you said.
Okay. And then one last question. Is this keyhole?
I was hoping somebody was going to show that piece. Thank you, Wendy. Isn't that interesting? So, it doesn't have the three segments. It's got the two segments, one on either side. It's got that center medallion and then this big medallion on top. But as far as I
Right.
know, collectors refer to it as keyhole.
They do?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a massive piece. But yeah, I had this on the dining room table. I was looking at it like that. God, it looks like keyhole to me.
Take a little work to pull that out of the mold, huh, Wendy? That's a heavy piece.
Yeah, it's a big one. That's all I have. Thank you.
Wendy, what was the design, the Charlton design on your candlestick on the Crown Tuscan one?
It looks to be the roses.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Wendy. And we appreciate you showing us the elongated version and then also the other version. I think we always forget, we see these pieces and we forget the little variations. So it's wonderful when we see them on Zoom and Tell and we can all be reminded, but beautiful pieces. And thank you so much for joining us.
And the Charlton one has the Charlton tag on the bottom. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, we're going to go to Mark and we're going to put Jeff on deck, please.
Okay, hello everybody. Well, one of the wonderful things about the show, besides being educated and seeing what's in other people's collections, is you kind of re-examine your own collection. So I was looking at what I have for keyhole, and I I pulled out three pretty similar vases, but they were all in different locations. So once I got them out and got them side to side, I thought, well, these are a little bit different, and I didn't really realize the differences until I looked at them a little closely. So the first item is a vase. We talked about this cutting quite a bit last month in the engraving, the show on engravings and cuttings. This is the number 611 engraving, rock crystal engraving on a keyhole globe vase. And I'm pretty sure this is from the early, I guess, to mid 30s. I don't think this cutting was in the 1940 catalog. And it has, I guess I'll call it the normal size keyhole. And it is, or it's advertised to be 9.5 inches.
And that's the cutting that's on the nudes, Greg.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Um, and then I have probably from a little bit later is the keyhole grew. Keyhole got bigger, and the vase got a little taller. So I'm thinking the only reason it really got taller is just because the keyhole got bigger. I think it's the exact same bowl, same size bowl as this, but the keyholes are just, this one's a little bit bigger than this one. So that bumps it up by about an inch. I think in the catalog it says 11 inches. I think it's really like 10 and a half. And then the third one, again, this was in another part of the home, was a Crown Tuscan gold encrusted rose point globe vase with, again, the large keyhole. And this bowl doesn't have an optic, whereas the other two have optics. This bowl does not. And I guess there's a reason for that, probably to make the gold on the Crown Tuscan look more impressive. And then finally, I have just one more vase. It's this is pretty much among my many favorite shape Cambridge vases. This is probably just about one of my favorites. I think this is the 12-inch keyhole vase. There's a smaller version, but this is the taller version of it, and I really love the shape of this vase. It all kind of pulls down right straight down to the keyhole, which is kind of neat. And this has got a little silver band on the top of it. That's what I've got. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mark. Oh, that cutting. I love globe bases, and that's outstanding. But I am very interested in the last base that you showed with the silver on top. That's really quite unique. And that's a rose point. So does it say who the silver manufacturer is on that by chance?
I think it's got a mark of, and someone that knows more about silver might know. Fred, somebody. Um, the hallmark on it has an H
Okay.
where it says sterling. It's got three little stamped symbols, and one of them is an H. And I think I read somewhere there was a silver manufacturer named, I think it was Fred, somebody. Probably started with an H.
All right. Thank you. That's really I like a lot of the silver pieces, as you know, so it's always interesting to see what the silver hallmarks are. And you can just Google it and it will come up online. I often do that for silver hallmarks. So thank you so much for that. Very lovely pieces. And I especially like how you showed that there is the optic versions, and then on the rose point, it was just very not non-optical. So thank you for that. Next, we're going to go on to Jeff, and we're going to put Alice on deck, please.
Hi, everybody. Good show tonight. My first piece, ebony sandwich tray, decagon style. And this snazzy Elaine etched comport. And then I have this cute little round thing, etched Elaine. Is it marmalade? Is that what it is? It
Yeah,
sits at
it's a marmalade. Yeah.
Sits at an angle like that. Optic or no? Yeah, it is optic, I guess. And then I have the two-part relish, etched Elaine. And the last piece is this cute little pink perfume with the ormolu. And that's optic, but the dauber's broke. So if there's a dauber laying around out there somebody doesn't need, look me up. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I do like the little shape of the keyhole, especially on the daubers. I just find it so delicate and everything. So that's a really beautiful piece in the ormolu, Jeff. And thank you so much for sharing with us tonight.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to Alice, and then we're going to put Sue on deck, please.
Okay. Now, I don't have a picture on my computer, so I can't really tell. Can you see this? This is the dauber with this got Elaine.
We got a blank screen. We don't have your camera, Alice. Can you turn your camera on?
Well, I thought I had it on. Do I not? Is it on now?
No, not yet.
Wow. Well, I got it turned on, and so I don't know what's okay. I don't know.
Well, I asked you to start video. Oh, there you are. There you are.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So this is the perfume with the dauber on it. Etched Elaine. And I have the green base. That's optic. And I have a pair of these. This is Wildflower, and it has the gold encrusted on the edges. I have a pair of those. And I do have a pair of the ones that I do not have the Bobaches to. These have the filled in centers, but my other plain ones have the holes in the handles. So, so that's all I have.
Well, thank you. Beautiful, beautiful with the Bobaches. And I think Jeff really is envying your little Elaine with the complete dauber, Jeff, as you noticed. So thank you so much.
That could come my way any day. Any day that could come my way.
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing with us, Alice. Next, we have Sue, and we'll put Jennifer on deck, please. Sue, are you there? Did we lose her?
No, if you unmute yourself, it makes a big difference. I have the little hand-painted 3400 perfume with the dauber, the keyhole dauber, and it's in perfect condition. So that was a treasure that I got from one of our girls. And then I have a darling little Carmen 6-inch. I don't know if you call it a plate or a basket, but it's got a keyhole handle, I think, and it has a very small mark in the bottom of it, the little Cambridge triangle with a C. So those are the only things I have, except a bunch of candlewick candlesticks, and they weren't coming out tonight.
Well, thank you for sharing. I really love that. Is a beautiful little basket that you have there. Carmen is one of my favorite colors. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing with us tonight. Next, we're going to go on to, who did I have next? Sue. Jennifer, are you available? And we'll put Tom on deck.
I am. Hi, everybody. Thank you for inviting me to your group. I am new to collecting, and I'm trying to recreate my great grandmother's rose point. And so that's what I've been focusing on. And let me take it off see if I can take this. But this is just the rose point with the keyhole and the two empty holes. And I just got this a couple of weeks ago at a local antique mall. So I'm looking forward to enjoying everybody's stories and seeing all the different varieties out there. That could be a little dangerous for me. So thank you all so much.
Oh, well, we like danger, Jennifer. We like danger. We'll remind you next time, like you said, you'll have to take yourself off a blur. It's sometimes hard to see. But we're glad that you're joining us, certainly. And this is the right group to come to learn a little bit about Cambridge. But I know there's a lot of people that do collect Rose Point, and I'm sure any questions you have, you can reach out to anybody here on Zoom. They'll be happy to help you anytime.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us. Next, we're going to go to Tom, and then we're going to put Gwinnell on deck, please. Gwinnell, do you need to unmute?
I thought Tom was next. My mistake.
Oh, my bad.
I think there are a couple Toms. Is it Tom Cotter or Tom Keith?
Oh, it would have been Tom Cotter. We'll go Gwinnell and then we'll go Tom. I starred you both at the same time. My fault.
Okay, well, I'm on. And I can follow up with Jennifer. I've got the Rose Point 3-light candlestick, and it does have the opening in the loops. And continuing with the candlestick, I've got the 2-light, and it's the closed one. It's solid, and it has the rose chintz etch on it. A very plain oil and vinegar with the two stoppers. Amethyst marmalade. And the moonlight puff box. And it's got the optic in it. And that's all for tonight.
Yes, but if we look behind you, we see a little ivy bowl, and then we see another 2-handled tray.
Yep. The 2-handled.
Yes, we do. So, and of course, I'm sure if we looked a little closer, we'd find a few other things too, Gwinnell. So
there might be.
Yes. Well, I do love those puff boxes. I think they're adorable. I don't have any, but I'm certainly going to have to be on the lookout for one of them.
Well, now the moonlight one, the top isn't optic, is it?
No, it's not.
It's a press piece. So with
So
the
it's a marriage.
3400 darts, yeah.
Okay,
So it's just the bottom part that's optic. It's just kind of an
okay.
interesting thing. But supposedly they made the Moonlight nude sherbet. I don't think one is surfaced yet, but you might have a chance to create a sweetmeat if
Okay,
so
we'll
hang
look
on
for
to it.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice. Well, thank you, Gwinnell. It's always great to see part of your collection, and you're so generous to share with us every month as well. So next, we're going to move to Tom now, Tom Cotter, and we are going to put David on deck.
Tom, you're going to need to unmute.
Yes, please. I'll ask you here, Tom. Let me get to you. If I can find you in the list here.
There we go. Okay, great. I've, for decades, back into the 70s, I've collected ivy balls. And this is one of the kind of unusual ones in that it's amber and gold crystal combination. Amber foot. I'm kicking myself because many years ago in St. Louis, I saw a damaged ivy ball with an amber foot and everything else was crystal. But I've never seen one since.
I think you got your thumb right in your picture there.
Yeah,
there
yes, I
you
did.
go.
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
We just got this on eBay. It's gold encrusted wildflower. These are all 1230 something pieces. So this is a 10-inch one. Very nice gold on it. Sorry. And this is, I don't even remember when I got this, but it's a 14-inch royal blue piece of vase. So obviously gorgeous color. And the Cambridge colors are my favorite. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And what a beautiful piece with that amber. Well, I want to see that one again.
Okay.
That's such
They're
an unusual piece.
Yeah, if you send me contact info, I could probably get a picture of it and send it. But yeah, I think I got it from the Mr. Welker, the Great Enabler. Let's see if I can.
There you go. Tricky with those phones, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it is. I don't have a.
That's good,
I
right
don't
there.
have a piece of my.
Beautiful.
Don't have a mic on my desktop. So
beautiful piece.
Yeah, it's a great one. I've got a number of ivy balls. Nothing like the X one I saw in the crystal ball earlier. But yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us this month and sharing beautiful pieces. And the gold was very nice on that wildflower vase as well.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Next, we're going to move on to David, and then we're going to put Doug on deck, please.
Thank you, Julie. Well, I don't collect keyhole design, but as we all do, we have a few pieces that have that design because it was so prolific, made through the years. I do, unlike Les Hansen, I do enjoy green colors, and this is a forest green decagon footed 2-light candlestick with gold encrusted wildflower on it. We've learned a little bit this evening about sometimes these holes are open and sometimes they're closed. My guess is during the decagon era, they're probably open 100% of the time. It seems like after they changed the foot design it could either be open or closed. My guess is they did that in there to support these candle cups a little bit so they didn't sag so much in the layer. Because if they start to sag a little bit, there's not enough support, then the candle doesn't necessarily stand vertically when you put it in the hole. So typically they made those changes for ease of getting out of the mold or to strengthen a portion of the item. So I have a pair of these, and it's just a wonderful set. You never have too much forest green golden crusted wildflower. Probably my latest addition to my collection. It's probably a little hard to see. This is the 2-light keyhole candlestick. This is in amber. The holes are filled in. This is etched amber rose point. And amber rose point would have probably been 35, 36, 37, probably in that era. So this is a fairly early mid-30s piece, I should say, and these are filled in, but it does have the round base, so we know it's a little bit older. I have a couple vases, and Greg Vass has allowed me to share a vase that will be going his direction before too long. This is the taller version of the vase that's in this shape. It's amethyst, and it has the Gloria etching on it. I was at the Fostoria show one year, and I saw these in a booth, and I thought, oh, that's cute. A pair of amethyst keyhole vases. I'll come back later. Well, by the time I got to the booth and got up closer, I realized they had the Gloria etching. I was like, I would have been so mad if I'd come back and they'd have been gone and found out that they were Gloria, and I just walked on by. But it's a little tricky to see from more than about 10 feet away that the vase has an etching on it. The shorter version of that vase, this is amber as well. It's got the keyhole down here, and it's gold encrusted Portia. This is a very, very nice design. I agree with Greg that it's definitely one of the best shapes Cambridge came up with. And we always say we're saving the best for last. So we'll come up here with a Carmen one. And this has the rose point etching on it. It is the shorter version, and it's quite a nice piece. I think the larger version, there's a pair of these in the National Museum of Cambridge Glass, so quite a striking piece. And this too was probably made in the mid to late 30s. So Julie, that's all I've got for this evening. But I did want to say one more thing. The two urn vases, the larger ones that Greg Vass showed earlier, they're essentially sitting on top of the 1-light keyhole candlestick. The one that had the smaller keyhole is not, but the larger globe vases are sitting essentially on top of a candlestick that Les shared with us earlier.
Well,
so Joy, that's all I've got this evening.
Well, thank you, David. Those were some stupendous pieces. And I think all of us want to see, excuse me, the wildflower in green again, because we don't often see wildflower and green together. So that is a stupendous piece. Really beautiful.
There is an absolutely gorgeous keyhole vase in the museum that is gold in forest green, that is gold encrusted wildflower. That would be a dream piece.
Yes. Well, you had a couple there. I'm sure all of us are drooling over. Brad's shaking his head like, yes, I want to come to your house. And do you give parting gifts? Because I'll come and we'll part. So thank you so much, David. Much appreciated. Next, we're going to Doug, and we're going to put Mike and Lisa on deck, please. Doug? Okay, let's see where you're at. Huh. Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, I got Tom. Was someone maybe as Doug Ingram earlier and then changed their name? Larry, did you happen to have glass?
Yeah, that would have been me. Yeah, I do have glass.
Oh, okay, that was you. Sorry. Okay, Larry, we'll go with you, and then we'll put Mike and Lisa on deck, please.
Okay. Thank you, David. I think you may have solved the mystery. Um, these pieces that are filled in on the later pieces, I don't think it makes it stronger. I learned this, I collect lamps also. And what they would do is cast in the mold thin pieces of glass. And the advantage of that is that it cools very quickly. So that would firm up rather than the thicker pieces of glass, which remain elastic longer. So you're right, that would help keep those candle cups from sagging. Because that's thin, it would set up almost immediately and hold it in place. Anyway, sorry, got sidetracked. This is a 2-light ebony gold encrusted wildflower candlestick. This is a 1-light, of course, silver encrusted apple blossom. And the last one is a 2-light crystal, but it's in Susan's favorite etching. She calls it Susan's Flower Garden, but I told her that wouldn't work. It's etch 779, which is the highest numbered etching, hanging urn. This one comes in 3 different decorates. This is the first one and has a wide gold band. It also comes in another decorate with 2 gold bands, and the last decorate with 5 gold bands. So something a little different. That's it, Julie.
Well, thank you very much, Larry. So when you're saying it has the gold bands, if you could hold that up again, when you say it has gold bands, where are the gold bands on the base or?
It's difficult to show on this piece.
Okay.
I have some bowls and some other pieces, but the gold bands, especially with 5 gold bands, are thin bands. It does have one large band, but then the other bands are thinner.
Okay. It goes all the way up the base then? Like
Yes.
just okay. Thank you. I just wanted a little clarification on that one. So thank you so much. And beautiful pieces again. I think a lot of us really enjoy seeing that ebony, the ebony pieces as well. They always stand out so nicely.
Actually, I misspoke. That's amethyst.
Okay, amethyst. Perfect. All right, next we're going to go with Mike and Lisa. And if there's anyone else that has any glass they'd like to share, just drop me a little text in the chat box, please. So Mike and Lisa, we'll move to you, please.
Hello, everybody. I can't remember if I showed this last week or not, but this is a ring stem with a cutting.
Similar to Greg's.
I believe this is the cut. The only other cutting I've seen or pieces that I see with this cutting are the Cambridge nudes. And to compare and contrast it, you can see it seems like it's kind of elongated. And then here's I don't know if you can see there's a big height difference between the two. So I understand Greg's already schooled us all in that, but compare and contrast. And then the other thing about this blue one is I think everyone has seen the 3400 4-footed candy covered candy dish with this lid. On this piece, the candy dish lid is actually the lid for this piece. So I guess from now on, every time I see a candy dish, it won't have a lid now. And along those same lines, you're probably wondering why I brought this piece. It's a very rare piece. And the reason it's, well, first to find it is rare. Well, what makes it rare is the lid for it. This is the candy box. So if anybody finds these, usually they snag the lid and leave that bottom piece. That's why I showed that first. You may have seen this, but you almost never see these two together. I didn't have to steal the lid because I actually had a nude sweetmeat already. So, and then I brought this piece that has provenance. A woman in Cambridge, Ohio, went over to the Cambridge glass factory, and there Mary Martha Mitchell had up on a shelf, as the story goes, you know how stories go. And she said she wanted to buy that one piece, and they sent her off and said, "We'll save your nickels." And finally, she was able to buy this. And I don't know, it got sold again 30 years ago, so I guess I'm the third owner on this thing. And then Lisa has a piece.
So here's one of my favorites. I know David showed us this exact size and whatever, but mine is Carmen gold encrusted Portia. And I think I love gold encrusted Portia. It's one of my favorites of the things that we collect. And this particular piece, I just the basket, the size of the basket on the actual vase. We have lots of these vases in royal blue because we're royal blue collectors, but this is a really special Carmen vase. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful color on that.
Yeah.
That's all, Julie.
All right. Well, thank you. And I'm sure we would all like to see that really pretty little blue vase with that enamel on it one more time, because we don't see it very often, Michael. So if you want to hold that up one more time so we can all be drool a little bit longer, that would be wonderful. And I can see you have mix and match in your collection as you're switching sweetmeat lids and so forth. But that is an outstanding piece. What's the height of that one, Mike? 10 inch? You're muted probably.
Mike, you're muted.
You're muted, Mike.
I said, I don't really know how to measure real well without a measurer. So I don't know, maybe 12, maybe 10, something.
12.
Larry, you want to guess from just looking? Larry can look at something and know.
It says 12.
12, okay. Julie,
All
it's
right.
a 12-inch vase.
Yeah, and the question
Okay.
was, is it Japonica? And again, we have a lot of people in the group here that aren't familiar with the Japonica. That's what that's called. The initial name was Japonica. They ran a little problem with that name in the 1930s and changed it to Hawthorne.
Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah, I just got, Les said he collected enamels, so I thought I should have one.
Yes. Okay. Good. Well, thank you so much. Is there anyone else tonight that has any examples to show? If not, I'm going to turn this right back over to David.
You got somebody waving in the. I think you got.
Yeah,
Alan.
we got you, Julie. I guess I don't know
sorry.
why it didn't.
Sorry about that. Okay, take it away. Show us what you've got here.
Okay. So here's a royal blue decagon candlestick. And then the same. I think this is the same one that Wendy had, but I thought the elongated keyhole was really neat.
Yeah.
And then this is same vase that you've seen already tonight, but an amethyst. It's something that we bought from one of our Depression Glass Club members locally last year, and he's since passed away. So we're kind of happy to have that. This is a big piece. And it's just like a bowl, the keyhole handles, on a keyhole stem.
That's
I don't know what
that's
this is.
called keyhole overload.
So that's in an amber. And then I know I've showed this before, but this is Diane etch in green. We found this a couple of years ago at a show about an hour from us and just fell in love with it. And then the last piece I brought was another Diane, and this is Crown Tuscan gold encrusted, and it's got the Crown Tuscan stamp on the bottom. And that's it.
Well, thank you. That's a beautiful green piece that you have. What is that's etched Diane, you said?
Diane, yeah.
Beautiful piece. Nice color.
It is.
Yeah, we like the color. We were stunned to find it at a show.
That's the best part, when you walk in not expecting to find anything and you come away with something great.
Right.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing with us so much, Mary and Jeff. It's always great to see you. Next, we're going to move over to Alan. I hear he was waving frantically that he's got something to share with us tonight. So, Alan, I'm asking you to unmute and share with what you have with us.
Julie, is it Brad Allen or Alan Cohen?
I just see Alan's iPhone.
I saw Alan Cohen waving.
Yeah, he was waving, and no, he's not. Now he's not even on video.
No, I still have on here Alan's iPhone. Greg alerted me to it. I've asked Alan to unmute. Sometimes I don't view in the gallery view, I view at the speaker view. So let me see if we can track him down here. I've got no picture for Alan. Alan, do you have something to share with us tonight?
He had his video on and waving, but now he's not so much.
Let me see. Ask for start video. I'm giving him some cues here, so we'll see if we can get him to unmute.
Tim Kroos is holding up some glass.
Okay, Tim, let's move over to you and we'll come back to Alan.
Hi, everybody. My grandson was on the phone tonight, and he actually got us set up to where we could show this glass on the television and see you all. So that's where you're looking at me while I'm looking at the TV, and it's kind of like you're looking away. Gold encrusted Porsche.
Rose Point?
And no, this is Porsche. Oh, that is a Rose Point. That is Rose Point. How about that? And then the best part of this is that these were sold in a set, and everybody ought to have the set because they're just gorgeous setting together. And then this decoration they have on the outside is just stunning. And that's
Beautiful.
all I have.
Okay, thank you. So now you've got us hooked up in wide view, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I think we're all going to have to figure that one out.
Call my grandson. He'll set you right up. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing with us. It's much appreciated, as always. We're going to try to go back here to Alan. I don't have him, though. I guess we're going to miss him this time. I don't see any video at all. Okay.
Maybe it was waving goodbye.
I'm sorry?
Maybe he was waving goodbye. I don't know.
Maybe. All right, David, we're going to turn it back to you for the time being, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Thank you, Julie. That muting and unmuting can get a little bit cumbersome, but you just got to remember to do it. I'm always amazed how collectors, especially collectors that have collected a long time, share their glass. And sometimes I don't think they pause to realize how unusual the item they're sharing actually is. And with all of us, we've all found early on in our collecting days a fairly unusual piece that we've been looking at for 10, 15, 20 years. So we kind of think in the back of our mind, everybody's got one of these to look at in their showcase. And that's not always the case. So I think this evening, I know when Jeff Eggers shared his marmalade etched Elaine, and I think it was Wendy maybe had the Elaine perfume bottle etched Elaine. Those are not easy pieces to find. So it's always kind of fun to see people who are sharing things, and we're gasping on our end of the computer on how nice and unusual they are. And they're just like, yeah, we found this and we got this, and I got this. So that's always fun. It's kind of unique how people see things, and things that you have, you think are common and standard, you've had them forever, but that's not always the case from another person's perspective. So that's one of the great things about Zoom here. First of all, thanks to Les for getting us started tonight. The iconic keyhole design is certainly notorious to Cambridge. And there are other companies out there that really either Cambridge copied them or they copied Cambridge, because as Marilyn was saying, other companies do have a similar design, especially to those center handle trays like she was sharing. I know there's at least one other company, and maybe it's the one that Marilyn was referring to, that, boy, it's really close. If you just take a quick glance, you think that tray is Cambridge, but it's not quite our design. Next month in October, Larry and Susan Everett will be sharing their knowledge on Cambridge Rose Point. Of course, Rose Point is a huge pattern, and it has hundreds, if not thousands, of pieces out there available. So, and Gary Turner, of course, he's written a wonderful book and shared it with NCC that's showing images of as many pieces that he has access to, of actual images of pieces that are known to exist. So that is a wonderful reference for any Rose Point collector. So Larry and Susan will be sharing their knowledge on Rose Point. So everyone has a piece of Rose Point, I would assume, somewhere in their household. They could dig around and find. So we're looking forward to seeing some of those. And we know Rose Point comes in carmine and royal blue and ebony and amber, as well as crystal and crown Tuscan. So dig into those cases, and hopefully we see some fun pieces next month. So Julie, thank you to everyone who participated this evening and shared their glass. Of course, that's the fun part, and it's fun to see all the great pieces that are around the country in different collections.
All right. Thank you, David. So much appreciated what you do behind the scenes and writing the articles for the Crystal Ball. And again, to you, Les, for everything that you do. So much appreciated to both of you. And of course, it wouldn't be Zoom without all of you that attend every single month. And welcome to the newcomers. We love seeing everybody here. Love to see all the glass that's out there, obviously. And like David said, you get so used to seeing it in your own case that you forget how wonderful it is. And then in the meantime, everyone have a wonderful month, and happy glass hunting. And I think I'm going to have to go find a keyhole with a big bowl on top of it, because those were outstanding. I'm particularly fond of those larger pieces. So thank you so much, everyone, and have a great evening.